Attention, travelers! We're about to dive into a controversial topic that might just change the way you plan your next adventure. Fodor's No List for 2026, a call to action for sustainable tourism. Fodor's, the renowned travel guide, has released its annual No List, highlighting 8 destinations where overtourism is taking a toll on nature and local communities. But here's where it gets controversial. Israel, a popular tourist hotspot, is not on this list. So, what's the story behind these choices, and why should we care? Let's start with a bold statement. Overtourism is a real issue, and it's time we addressed it head-on. Fodor's editors emphasize that this list is not a boycott but a temporary plea to ease the pressure on these places. They want to draw attention to the unsustainable strain tourism is putting on certain destinations, and we believe it's a conversation worth having. Antarctica, the frozen frontier under threat. Imagine a lone penguin amidst a sea of tourists in Antarctica. It's a stark contrast to the pristine, untouched landscape this continent is known for. Fodor's warns of a sharp rise in tourism, even though Antarctica has no need for tourist dollars. With about 120,000 visitors in the 2023 to 2024 season and a potential doubling by 2033, the concerns are valid. Researchers and experts highlight the complex reality. While organized expeditions create strain, the real worry lies with private vessels operating without oversight. Environmental organizations fear Antarctica is sliding towards mass tourism, and volunteer groups are struggling to set standards without the power to limit entry. Canary Islands, overcrowded and overwhelmed. The Canary Islands, especially Tenerife, Gran Canaria, and Lanzarote, are facing intense tourist overcrowding. Over 7.8 million visitors in the first half of 2025 alone have led to mass protests with the slogan, "The Canaries have a limit." Traffic congestion, soaring housing prices, and pressure on water sources are making life difficult for residents. Environmental groups report severe harm to biodiversity and a shrinking of natural areas. Short-term rentals like Airbnb are pushing locals out, and new regulations aimed at limiting vacation rentals are yet to make a real impact. Glacier National Park, a race against time. Glacier National Park in the United States is undergoing a serious environmental crisis. Of the 150 glaciers present at the start of the 20th century, only 27 remain, and they may vanish by 2030. This reality has sparked a wave of last-chance tourism, with visitors rushing to see the ice before it's gone. Visitor numbers in 2024 rose by about 300,000, worsening traffic, forcing trail closures during wildfires, and harming wildlife. Air quality has suffered, and hikers are crowded into fewer routes. The park is struggling to cope with the influx. Isola Sacra, a battle for environmental safeguards. On the artificial island of Isola Sacra at the mouth of the Tiber River, plans for a huge port to host the world's largest cruise ships are advancing. Residents fear the destruction of dunes, wetlands, and rare vegetation, which support hundreds of wildlife species. Local authorities promise environmental safeguards, but official reports cite a lack of transparency, and experts warn of potential pollution and coastal erosion due to large-scale seabed dredging. Jungfrau region, Switzerland, a double-edged sword. One of Switzerland's most popular areas, the Jungfrau region, offers breathtaking views of the Eiger, Manche, and Jungfrau peaks. However, its fame has become a double-edged sword. Tourism hit new highs in 2024, with over 1 million visitors to Jungfraujoch alone. The Eiger Express gondola brings visitors to the glacier's edge in 15 minutes but has also brought huge pressures. Buses clog mountain roads, delicate trails are eroding, and Lauterbrunnen is swamped by day trippers. Hotel owners report a shift in travel patterns, with visitors staying fewer nights and choosing Airbnb over local lodging. Overtourism is threatening the very foundation that sustains the region. Mexico City, a social backlash. A wave of remote workers from North America, coupled with an Airbnb boom, has sparked a social backlash in Mexico City. Protests against gentrification and rising housing costs erupted on July 4th, with signs reading, "Mexico for Mexicans." Guides and community activists say short-term rentals are displacing residents, commodifying local culture and tearing at the social fabric. Neighborhoods like Condessa, Roma, and Polanco have become neo-colonies, with apartments priced in dollars and restaurants catering to tourists. Mombasa, Kenya, buckling under tourist pressure. Mombasa, Kenya's historic coastal city, is struggling under heavy tourist pressure. It hosts about 70% of visitors to the Kenyan coast, leading to congestion, pollution, uncontrolled building, and severe shoreline erosion. Historic sites like Fort Jesus and the Old City are flooded with tourists, while sewage and trash systems are collapsing. Environmental groups document serious marine pollution, including raw sewage flowing into the sea, damaging mangroves and fisheries. Despite efforts, solutions on the ground remain scarce, and researchers warn Mombasa could lose its charm and become a place travelers stop visiting. Montmartre, Paris, a symbol of relentless crowding. Montmartre, the hilly, postcard-perfect Paris neighborhood, has become a symbol of relentless crowding. More than 11 million visitors pass through the Sacré-Cœur Basilica each year, more than the Eiffel Tower. Narrow streets and Place du Tertre are pushing locals out, and real estate prices have surged. Long-standing community institutions have been replaced by luxury hotels. Experts warn that if the trend continues, Montmartre could be emptied of its population and turned into a tourist attraction rather than a living neighborhood. So, what do you think? Is Fodor's no list an important step towards sustainable tourism, or is it too controversial? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Let's spark a conversation and find a balance between travel and preserving our precious destinations.